Robby, I want to start with not your baseball career, but you as a football player, because I read you were a four-star linebacker coming out of high school. So, first, who is Robby Snelling, the football player?
That was the first sport that, kind of I thought that was going to be my career. Dad was a football coach for as long as I can remember. I think it was ended up being like 24 years at the high school that I ended up going at. Grandparents played football and uncle played football, so that was kind of the bloodline for me. So that's really where the love and passion for it came from.
What was the balance in high school between playing football and baseball, and how did baseball become the sport for you?
It's separate seasons, so the balance honestly wasn't as bad as some people think. They separate themselves with the seasons, and working on school, and whenever the season came about for the sport that you were playing, that's the sport I was playing. So other sport kind of got put on the back burners at that point, and just kind of focused on whichever sport I was in season for.
Have you, over the last few years, given any thought to maybe what life would have been like had you chosen football over baseball, or you just, kind of is what it is now?
No, I think about it all the time for sure. It's something that I was very blessed to be able to have the opportunity to have a future in both of them. Baseball just kind of pushed itself ahead and showed more promise for me in the future. So and definitely showed it earlier. So it's a pretty easy decision when that happens.
You mentioned baseball pushing itself ahead. So, at what point in high school, what was that transition like? What did you start learning about your potential in this game?
Travel ball is a big deal for high school baseball players. So, really just kind of showed itself when I got on the travel circuit and playing kids across the country and different states across the whole country. And I was still excelling at the rate that I was, when I was at home. So. And it kind of came about to me enjoying playing it a lot more than what I thought I could ever have. So really just was a decision that I made with my family, and I couldn't be happier about it.
What do you enjoy about pitching in particular as you carry on your career here?
I feel like I really do bring kind of a football attitude onto the mound. That's something I kind of prided myself on, and there were some growing pains with it, and had to learn to kind of rein it back a little bit and kind of truly become a pitcher instead of just kind of a football player that throws a baseball. So once I kind of figured out how to really be a pitcher, that's kind of when my game took off. So and that's all the help that my coaches here with the Padres and also coaches that I had in high school kind of helped me with. So couldn't thank them enough for that.
Well, Robby, credit to you because you're only 20 and your numbers last year in your first full professional season were outstanding at all the different levels you pitched at. What was the key for you last season, if you could sum it up?
I really feel like I threw a lot of strikes, put the ball over the plate, and kind of let my defense behind me do the work, and then the strikeouts came and went as they did. And I really felt like I didn't put too much pressure on myself. A lot of expectations going into the season, but I knew that if I continue to play my game and just throw strikes and have the ball in play or throw it past a few guys, I was going to have a pretty good year. So very, very happy with how last year went.
You mentioned expectations, and you've also received a lot of recognition for what you did last year. No secret, Baseball America Pitcher of the Year. You're one of the top pitching prospects in baseball right now. From the mental standpoint, how do you deal with expectations, but also the recognition that comes along with really good performance?
I try not to think about it, too much. It's just playing a game, and so you go out there and I just kind of absorb all the time and just kind of sit back and see where I am, and it's a pretty cool spot to be in a big league clubhouse, and people could say that last year is what got me here, but I feel like if I didn't have as close of a year that I did last year, I feel like with the work ethic that my parents and coaches have instilled in me, that I would be here anyway.
Being in this clubhouse here in 2024, Who are the guys that you've really talked with that have sort of mentored you so far?
So I mean, Joe's definitely kind of taken me under his wing a little bit. That's been huge for me. Playing catch and just picking his brain and learning how a big league player should act. It's also cool from the standpoint of you got guys that I played with last year that I'm with in the clubhouse as well, and so kind of picking their brain and like what did you learn today? What are some things that you took and you thought were really important and valuable? And then having Salas that's doing it alongside with us and catching me at the same time. Picking his brain on his side of the plate of things that could make me better as a pitcher. He catches a lot of the big league guys throwing too, so some things that he might see that they do that might be able to help me. So.
Let's talk about Ethan Salas a little bit more, because one of the cool moments I saw in the backfields in the last week, a moment where you were throwing a live BP, he was catching you, and it's like, here's this 20-year-old and this 17-year-old, top prospects in the organization working together, and who knows what the future holds for both these guys. With Ethan in particular, what stands out to you about him right now?
He's definitely mature beyond his years. You wouldn't think that he's a 17-year-old the way that he carries himself. And then behind the plate, he's a big target, easy to throw to, and it's a lot of fun working with him when things are going well. So,
As far as your arsenal, where are you at right now? What are you working on?
Still working on the changeup. It's come a long way. I'm really excited to use that this next year and kind of see how it works throughout the season. Working on my breaking ball a little bit more, trying to make it sharper, a little more depth to it, and then just consistently being in the zone with my fastball.
Reading what evaluators have said about you, they have said fastball, curveball, really, really good. That changeup still developing. It sounds like this season really developing that third pitch, which, as we know, is such a key for starting pitchers in the major leagues. That's really a focus for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody's got to have it as a starting pitcher. So, just hoping that the work that I put in over the off season and then even throughout this entire time working on that changeup that it's going to come a long way.